I feel that the topic for tonight's video will be stillness. And today, I didn't really do much of anything. I stayed in the house. I didn't leave the house. I did very little amounts of work and I rested in stillness. Even during midday or a little bit in the afternoon, I decided to take a nap because I just felt like it. So I went back to bed. And I've had times, days, where I will just lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. And those days are heavily contrasted by days where I'm moving my body about 2 hours, at minimum 45 minutes to maximum 2 hours a day. And I find that these rest days are absolutely essential for my health and well being. And you can't be heavily working out for 2.5 hours every single day unless you're an athlete at that level, at a professional level. I don't really feel like putting my body through that. So I don't do that. That's why I give myself rest days. And with the rest days, I feel more at peace with myself because I'm able to reflect. And I need this reflection because there's a plane passing by. I don't know if you guys can hear the plane. I get very distracted, is the word I'm going to use, by excessive noise and noise pollution. And even staying in the home today, you can be bothered by noises. And I still get bothered by noises when there's just been too much to do. And today was very important to just be still and to rest. I lost my train of thought because of the plane. Interestingly enough, there are like specific noises that are bothersome to me, like overhead planes. But if the train is moving, the trains don't bother me. I'm so used to the trains and it's a very peaceful sound to me, and the airplanes are very disruptive. So forgive me as I'm recalibrating here. I didn't even go outside today because of the weather. I didn't feel like dealing with the weather, so I just decided to stay inside and literally do nothing. And it feels counterintuitive. Maybe perhaps that's the wrong word. It's not counterintuitive. It feels very intuitive, actually, to do absolutely nothing in a world that is very chaotic and loud and messy. And I don't like doing a lot in small periods of time. That's very jarring to me as an introvert and as a highly sensitive person. I don't like doing those things. But what I do like to do at least one day a week is just do absolutely nothing, where I don't have to do work and I don't have to think hard about anything. I can just simply be. And I can incorporate beauty routines into this stillness. But today I didn't even feel like doing that. Today I literally just stayed in bed and did nothing. I did actually look on my phone for a little bit and I did post another video that's now available on YouTube on my third channel here. And it is about beauty. So if you're interested in beauty, in the topic of beauty, you can head over to that video if you feel so inclined. But this video is a little bit different, and it's just this concept of doing nothing. And I feel that it's very hard for people to just sit and do nothing because they're in a conflict with their inner selves. They're in a conflict with themselves about something happening in their lives. And they feel that they may need to take immediate action, but that isn't always the best solution. Sometimes the best solution is to just sit and be still and do nothing and just let your nervous system relax, to just let your body relax. And I feel that this is hard for so many people, and they're not obtaining the clarity that they need in their lives because they're not taking time to focus on stillness, to be doing nothing, to get the clarity that you need. Now, for me personally, I use prayer to get the clarity that I need in stillness. I don't sit absent-minded. I have a conversation with my Creator. I have a conversation with God about where my life is headed, my next directional steps. All of those things are important to me, but he also makes it very clear that rest is very important. Some people prefer to rest on Saturday, some people prefer to rest on Sunday, others take Mondays off. I find it so beneficial to just take a day to do nothing. I like how it feels. I don't feel this incessant need to rush and to move quickly. There is no error I would use as a word. Perhaps I would use as a word. Let's see. I really prefer to write. I prefer to write over speaking, but I feel that these videos are important. So I'm making them in a video format, in a podcast format over a written format. Stillness. I've always found it very easy to be still. There's be still and know that I am God. So I don't have to worry when I'm resting. A lot of people worry a lot, and this worrying causes damage because you need to be thinking with clarity. And even in stillness, sometimes it is a little challenging for me to be still, and I'll get a piece of paper. And if there's something that's very important that I need to remember, or some thought that's come to me, then I'll write it down. I feel that stillness is imperative for creativity because you're allowing yourself to slow down and allow new ideas to spring forth and to bloom. So in moments of stillness, I'm able to just listen. And in listening, I'm able to eventually take action. I don't know if you can hear the waves that I can hear right now. I feel very blessed that I'm able to be still for prolonged periods of time because I know that not everyone has that luxury. And I do see stillness as a luxury, but I do feel that you need to carve out time for your stillness in life. And if you're struggling with finding the time to be still, then you can get up early. I'm an early morning riser and prefer to get up at about 5 a.m. in the morning to start my morning and to have a beautiful morning. And I cultivate these mornings. I get up early to cultivate these mornings so my mornings are beautiful. Just as I cultivate my evenings so I have a beautiful evening, I cultivate them with my beauty, quote unquote, routines. I'll put those in quotation marks because they vary so much. Sometimes I'll spend 45 minutes on beauty, other days I'll spend 3 to 4 hours on beauty. But stillness is something that I feel is just so, so, so important. I feel now that the pace of life is so much faster, obviously, because we have all this technology. And what I love to do on days where I'm really focusing on stillness is to just be away from all of that. And that's why I like to take pen and paper and have no internet connection. Obviously, I'll still have the internet connection available to me in the house, but I won't entertain it. I'll just put it aside. I'll put my laptop aside. I'll put my phone aside, put my phone on silent, only making sure that if there's an emergency via my loved ones that I'm able to access that. They're able to access me, that I keep because they're important to me and I love them. But I really detach from everything. The space on YouTube and the space on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and these other platforms. I'm sure that there are some that I'm not mentioning that I'm forgetting about. It's just so chaotic and so messy and so loud. And a lot of it is focused on consumerism and buying things constantly. And I thrift, right? I took some time today to just not do that. And it's really concerning to me because even though I don't have this issue, I see a lot of men and women with this issue where they're just obsessed and addicted to buying things to make them feel happy about themselves or to get a dopamine hit where they just feel better. And that's concerning because for me, I find my peace in God. For me, I find my peace in knowing who I am as a person and not this need to collect all of these things. It's nice to have things. I'm not saying that it's not nice to have things. And I'm not what you would call an extreme minimalist by any means. And I'm really not here to shame anyone with the way that you live your life. This is just what works for me. So I feel inclined to share what works for me. But it's just so fascinating to me how I love doing both. I love having days of rest. And then I love having days where I'm going out and just being aware of all of these things around me and just enjoying the beauty of life. When I was younger, I felt that everything was at a slower pace, that the world moved at a slower pace. And I still strongly believe this to be true because technology has really put a spin on things. And it's so concerning to me that there are people addicted to their phones where they're just connected all day. They don't put their phone down. The phone is an extension of self. Just as I'm making this video, my phone is connected to my MacBook and it'll give me notifications, which I find to be ridiculous because these notifications are pretty useless. Not all of them are important notifications. A few of them are important notifications, but most of them are just nonsense emails, things of that nature, etc. I personally get really annoyed because I feel like it interferes with the quality of the video when these notifications pop up because it makes a loud noise and I feel it disrupts and interferes with the video. So forgive me for that as well. These videos I'm making right now are unedited. And as you heard earlier, there was a plane involved and then this notification on my phone. And it's just annoying. It's jarring and distracting. I'm not in the country right now, I'm in a city. And it's just incredible to me how jarring it is. It's not peaceful as the country is, in my opinion. I feel that it's easier to be more peaceful in the country, but that isn't really what this video is about. This video is about also understanding and finding stillness when everything around you is loud and chaotic and even perhaps disturbing. It's about finding that inner peace even when there are many external factors that are not still. It's learning to be still when the waters around you are not still. And I truly believe that to be an art. And again, for me, what I do is I pray. And the prayer for me is what keeps the stillness alive.